I believe Wawasan 2020, when it was launched, it was a dream, or it's a vision that the whole nation can share. There's one common goal.
Wawasan 2020, I guess I first heard it growing up when I was in primary or secondary school. And it always struck me as this goal, a big ideal of where Malaysia wants to be in 20 years. And as a young kid, it was just wow, it's something great to go for.
Well, Vision 2020 is actually a very long-term vision propounded by the then Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir, and it was announced in 1991, and that is to set the path for the nation to progress and develop to a stage of a developed nation.
It's the fact that we need to have a dream. I mean, we need to have an ambition, and I think having a vision and a mission to achieve that vision is very important.
It's really a powerful dream, right? Dreams are so powerful about where do we want to go, having that clarity of vision and trying to align a whole country around a common goal is beautiful.
It's a 30-year plan, and we focus on what would be the end of the plan. We want to be a fully developed country. Over the period of 30 years, we would achieve that. And we also state that the developed country that we wish to achieve is in our own mold.
A lot of people are not looking at the 9 challenges. When Wawasan 2020 was launched and I was age 36, when I look at these 9 challenges, I was so inspired because these 9 challenges to me is so well written, full of wisdom.
So that's the first challenge, the mindset, the people, whether they believe in themselves that we can achieve the status of developed status. If we don't train our people the right way, and educate them equip them with the right skills, it's going to be difficult to achieve the Vision 2020.
Economic, social and cultural rights must go hand in hand with civil and political rights. It cannot be separated. They really just want fairness, equality, and that the great resources of Malaysia, this is an excellent country, be shared fairly.
Because we have to respect the rights of others.
The future is not about how much land you have, how strong your military is, or how much resources you have in the ground, right? But it's how to use the talent to the best effect.
One should not see 2020 as the point at which we have to proclaim to the world that we are a mature democracy or that we have become an ethically sound society. I don't think it's possible to do that. It is just a reminder. That's how you should see 2020.
To put it simply, Vision 2020 tells us to get from point A to point B. The GDP and ETP tells us how we do it, who would do it, what is the investment and facilitation required, and when it needs to be done. So we are becoming a more knowledge-based economy, but we still have room to improve as we head towards 2020.
I think more has to be done in order to retain talent and also to attract talent to play their very critical role in nation building and economic development.
Development is endless. You can't say that nowadays you have reached developed status, there is nothing more to do. Of course, you have to sustain it. At the same time, you are going to be faced with all kinds of new challenges which may not be there before.
We cannot have solutions which are sort of quick fix or band-aids. That has been happening for 50 over years. I think we need to take steps from the legal framework to accept, ratify and implement international human rights norms. Looking at how we have only ratified two, the rights of the child and woman, I think we need to take steps to ratify, for example, the Convention on Civil and Political Rights, Economic, Social, Cultural Rights, elimination of discrimination, racial discrimination. These are steps, positive steps that SUHAKAM have actually recommended, and this is something that we need to look forward and do immediately.
I think the first unifying factor must be the leaders. We must have good leaders. Prime Minister Najib has now and again emphasized that we should celebrate the differences. Not only tolerate or embrace, but we must celebrate the differences.
Today, a lot of people are so afraid to choose their political stand. But I must emphasize my political stand is based on the national interest. If we all concentrate and try to understand the 9 challenges which outline the Vision 2020, I believe every single one in this nation can choose their own way to contribute to this beautiful country and make our country better.
But as a nation, we must stick together.
No matter what your background is, no matter where you come from, you can succeed and you can be whatever you want. With that mindset, everything is possible.
So let's not look at what colour you are, where you come from. We must look at who we are as Malaysians, and we should work together.
Now, I think our young people must be equipped because Malaysia has a great future, and I think the strength in us is that we are multiracial. I think we hope, especially in this new year, we like to see that there is a common identification, de-emphasizing race, religion, but move ahead collectively as a united nation, as a people who are forward-looking and who will share a common future together.
It doesn't really matter what the world thinks about us in 2020. I think the most important thing is what the Malaysian people themselves think about our own society in 2020.
We are going to have a tough journey ahead. Definitely it's achievable, but we need to grow at how we grew in the first decade of the Vision 2020. And that's going to be a challenge if we don't get our act together.
Knowledge of the past is important for the future, because if we study the past, we will identify the mistakes made in the past and we will avoid them. I always believe in what Josh Santayana says, that those who forget the lessons of history will be condemned to repeat their mistakes over and over again. So always learn from the lessons of history.